Everything that you need to make this daisy flower bunting is going to be listed in the description box below. I'm starting with the magic ring. I do have a video on how to do the magic ring if you're not familiar with it, and I will place that right here. And if you prefer not to do the magic ring, then you can also just do a chain 4 and connect. So I take my magic ring and I want to put 12 half double crochet stitches into my magic ring. So how you do your half double crochet quickly is yarn over, go into your loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Now I've got 1. If you have a hard time knowing where your first stitch is, you always just take your first stitch and you mark it with a stitch marker. That way you'll know where your first stitch was. So I'm going to go ahead and put 11 more half double crochet into my magic ring. So I have 12 total. I have 12 half double crochets, so I'm going to go ahead and close my ring up. And you want to slip stitch into your first stitch that you made. So take out your stitch marker and you're going to need to put your hook through. However, go ahead and drop your yellow and we're going to start working our petals with the white yarn. So take your white, lay it over your hook, grab a hold of it, and you want to pull through the white to close. Then just take your working end of your white yarn and I want you to chain up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've chained 5, and now what we're going to do is we're going to work our way back down. So this is your first stitch here. You always skip the first one and then you go into the next one with a single crochet and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 going down, 2, and that last one, don't skip it, you need 4 single crochets going down each petal. So you chain up 5, that gives you 4 single crochets coming down. And what we're going to do is, this is where we connected, we're just going to go into the next stitch and slip stitch it right on there. Alright, so we've got our first petal, so we slip stitched and now we're just going to chain up 5 again. And we're going to do 4 single crochets back down the petal. 2, 3, and 4. Find your next stitch and go ahead and slip stitch your petal in place. So you're going to do that all the way around and you should end up with 12 petals. So chain up 5, skip your first, that last turning chain you always skip, so that leaves you with 4 on the way back. Find your next stitch, slip stitch it there. So go ahead and continue doing that all the way around until you have 12 petals all the way around. I apologize again if there's been some drastic lighting changes. There's clouds coming back and forth today and it's messing with my natural lighting, which is the only lighting I use anyway. But I have my 11 petals and now I have my last one, so I'm going to chain up 5, work my 4 singles down And right here is where my 12th petal will be slip stitched. Now you can chain one and you can cut your yarn because you're done with the yellow and you're done with the white. I've got my flower with my 12 petals, and I haven't sewn in my ends or anything. I'll do that after I'm done. And just make sure that all of your strings on the back are pulled nice and tightly so everything falls into place properly. And take your petal, and what we're going to do is kind of move it apart a little. So you know how when you're crocheting, all of your V's form on one side, and then you also have these back loops too. What we're going to do is, if you spread the petal apart a little, you'll see here's your front, your first stitch, and then there's also one on the back side. We're going to go ahead, and I've got a slip knot on my hook. Put your hook into the back side, and we're going to start our single crochets right there. So we've got one single crochet here, and then your first stitch from when you went down your petal, that will be your second. So you want 2 single crochets in the tip of each petal, and we're going to chain 3 in between each petal. Alright, so we move on to the next one. Kind of spread it and move it apart. And you can see right there in the back side, single crochet, then look for the first stitch on the front side, and you can count from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet there, and then chain 3, one more I'll show you. Spread your petal apart a bit, find the back and single crochet into that one, and then single crochet into your first stitch from the other side and chain 3. Now continue this all the way around, and I'll meet you when I get to my last petal. I'm on my final petal, and I'm going to do my last 2 single crochets into my 12th petal, chain 3, and then just find your first stitch from your first petal and slip stitch right into there. Now we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to put 1 single crochet into the same stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then where the 3 come in, you want to do 3 single crochets around that chain of 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now just repeat. You want to put, and it might be hard for people to tell where the first and second stitch are supposed to be. First stitch is actually here, not here, and that might be kind of a challenge for some people. It looks like it's not really gonna be able to get your hook in there, but this is the next stitch right here, and it's kind of on the corner. So there's 1, then your second one is the easily accessible one, 2, and then 3 around your 3 chains. I know it's kind of a dark color I'm using. So The first one, just look for your V's, or look for your stitches. Here's that first one, and it's kind of off to the side. So go ahead and put your hook in there. Single crochet, single crochet, and then 3 around the chain 3. Continue that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the other side. I'm at my last section before I connect, and like I always say, if you need to stitch mark your first stitch of a row around to know where you need to stop or where you need to connect, always do so. I didn't do it with this round because I forgot, but I know how to get there. It's mainly for people watching that don't know how. So I have my last 2 single crochets in the top of the petal. Whoop. And my last 3 around the chain 3. And then my first stitch is right here. This is the chain 1, this is the stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch right into that spot. Alright, now this is where we form the triangle. So you want to chain up 2. The chain 2 is not going to count in this pattern. So you chain up 2, then you want to double crochet into the spot, the same stitch as the chain 2. So you pull through 2, pull through 2, your first double crochet, and since this chain 3 does not count, to make it a little easier for you to know where to stop, the top stitch that you just did is from your double crochet. Go ahead and mark it so you know where to connect your round. So we're going to do 5 double crochet. This chain 2 doesn't count. This first double crochet is number 1. Now you want to do 4 more. Now you want 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. Now you want 8 single crochet. So single crochet and then 1 single crochet in the next 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you want 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. Then you want 5 double crochet. So that's one side of our triangle. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to start that pattern over again. So in the next stitch, 1 double crochet, but you want to do 5 altogether down the row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So every time you have a chain 3, it's one of the corners. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochet. In the next stitch we want 1 half double crochet. Then we want 8 single crochet. Then we're going to go back up to the peak, so 1 half double crochet followed by 5 double crochet. Chain 3, and our last side is going to be starting the next stitch, 5 double crochet, one half double crochet, 8 single crochet, one half double crochet, 5 double crochet in the last 5 stitches. Chain 3, and where you're marked, that's the stitch that you want to connect to. Alright, so you formed the 3 corners. And our next row will be our final row, and it makes it look much more like a triangle. So now we're on our last row, our last round I should say. So what we're going to do is chain up 2. This chain does not count, and you want to put 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Again, mark that top stitch so you know where you need to connect. And now we want to put double crochets in the next 2 stitches as well. So we have a total of 3 double crochets. One half double crochet in the next. 1 single crochet in the next 12. So you're going to do 12 single crochets. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and 3 double crochet into the last 3 stitches on this side. And now we've reached our corner, so we're going to put 3 double crochet into that corner, chain 3, and put 3 more double crochet into the same corner. Then you want to start that same pattern all over again. And the thing that you need to keep in mind is with this corner, a lot of people end up skipping the first one. Sometimes it can't be seen because it's covered. Like if it's covered by these, people automatically migrate to this one because it's the first one they see. But really, you pull these back, this is the first one you need to go into. So we're going to start our double crochets there with 3 double crochets, so 1 in the next 3. 1, 2, 3, 1 half double crochet, 12 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 3 double crochet. Now we've reached another corner, so we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 3, and then 3 more double crochet. Now we're on our last side of the triangle, so remember not to skip that first stitch right there. And we're going to do three double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 12 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and lastly 3 double crochet. In the corner, our last corner, 3 double crochet, chain 3, and 3 more double crochet. And this is where we connected. Just slip stitch right to there, chain 1, pull it through, cut your yarn, pull it through, and you should probably stretch out your corners just a little. And there we have our first triangle for our bunting. And I've seen people hang their triangles upside down. I've seen them with, pointed downwards. It's however you want to do it. Now I'll show you how I connected mine. You can pretty much connect your bunting however you want to. If you want to do them flush up against each other or, a few inches apart, that's fine. So with a slip knot on your hook, one option you have is to You can make a chain of 5, connect to the first chain you made, and slip stitch it. That way you have a loop. If you're going to hang your bunting, you have a loop that you can hang it from. And then go ahead and chain as many as you want for the end. I'll just chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll chain 6. So you've got your loop to hang it. You've got your chain of 6. And go ahead and take your triangle, go into the corner, and make that your first single crochet, and then put 1 single crochet in each stitch along the top. Then when you finish along the top, place 1 single crochet into the corner, chain as many as you want, depends on how far apart you want them. I just chain 3. I have another that I worked on yesterday, and all you gotta do is start with your next one. Start in the corner, put your hook in, turn that into the first the first single crochet, and then just put 1 in each along the top until you have all of your triangles on. Then lastly, put 1 in the corner. And for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to say that this is the end. I'm going to put these two together. This is the end of what I've got. Since I started with a chain 5, connect, and then chain of 6, I'll do that, but in the opposite direction. So chain of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to do, now if you need to, at this point, mark where your 6th stitch was, mark it. And then I'm going to chain up 5 more for the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you just want to slip stitch into where you connected. And that gives you your other loop. So, cut your yarn, pull that on through, and you can sew this in so it'll, look better, and you'll have a loop on either side to hang them from. Me, I just hung mine from the corner, and I'll show you what my finished one that's hanging above my shelves looks like. So this is my finished bunting. I picked, some brighter colors for spring. I've been feeling very springy and I'm ready. I painted my shelves yellow and I hung this above it, and I absolutely love how they came out. And I know I wanted to incorporate a daisy into the middle or some kind of flower. The daisy just seemed to be what stood out to me the most. I'm usually not really big on decorating, but I've gotten into the mood with it lately, and ignore that. That will be covered with something creative soon. But thank you for following the tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one.